Any notable trades?
Oh, Blade Man Dan was a good. He was good that we needed him. Tom K going back to defense for the playoffs, so we just needed another forward to play with Rogo, and Blade
Dan's
Man
a
Dan
good
was the
pickup.
best one I could find. Really pleased with that trade. We had to get rid of Kyle Hayes, and Kyle isn't the greatest player of all time. He's not the worst player either, but he's a good locker room guy, so he'll be good on Vancouver as long as he can control.
Are you
how
saying
many
that
times
trade
kids
shouldn't have
are
been
won.
approved?
Oh, dude, should any of my trades be approved? Ask her.
No, probably not.
Honestly, whenever Arlie puts a trade in headquarters, I go and I like put a question mark just to get everyone to go against Arlie, and he does the same shit to me. So no matter what, I'm at a disadvantage from the beginning of the trade.
Relatable.
It's like
Relatable.
I'm fighting-
Relatable.
It's like I'm fighting uphill every time. Arlie's there, and I just know it's
Man,
gonna happen.
Nuxie, what's wrong with you, man?
What do you mean?
Man, it's been a whole year and you haven't chirped me once in game day.
Doesn't
You
happen.
know,
It's a
just
complete season.
Just makes memes now, man.
just
He's working on
Andy
bettering
Hoffman-
himself as a person.
Andy
you
hops in
know,
my GTA server and absolutely wrecks me for no fucking
Oh, I
reason.
do that shit all the time. That's funnier than hell. That shit's funnier than hell, my dude.
I'm out here gangbanging and Nuxie comes in with his fucking RPG and starts fucking me up. Like, bro.
you know, change
That's
change the
really
way
funny. That's really funny. That's one of
the way
funniest
things should
I've
be.
heard all day.
You know, I just try and keep it non-toxic here in LA. You know, we got all the boys,
You're toxic, LA Bay.
and that's right. You know,
I
it's-
think our teams are most alike. We go on winning streaks. We don't really toxic. It could fold at any fucking second.
I'm gonna
That's
watch
right,
this
you know,
dude
that's-
feed an anaconda a rabbit.
One night where ownership just says, "Fuck it, I don't want to deal with his bullshit." Down, but
you know,
Kind of sounds
it
like my
helps
team
a
last
lot. You
season.
know, having Rochi as the owner. You know, it takes a lot off. He does a lot of the work. He's a great owner, great player too.
And
Love
Nuxie,
having
do
him.
you ever think what could have been from last year if you guys don't, if that breakthrough don't happen and you guys don't fall apart? Man, you guys had a great team last year.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a good team. A lot of the guys left though. I wasn't supposed to be owner. We had Alex McCray, Crafty 16. He was the owner of the team, and we had a lot of good players. He left the team due to personal issues, and a lot of the guys they were all friends with him, and they didn't want to stay because he left. You know, Shane, Crow, Scro, Dante, Luke. We had Debard. We had a lot of great players. It fell through, unfortunately, because he left, and it put a lot on Dylan and I. Kesley, he was owning an LG at the time, so he couldn't really do much for Facebook, and a lot of that was thrown on me, and I wasn't expecting it, and having a lot of guys just not want to play, you know, it made it hard not being able to throw lineups, and you know, ultimately it resulted in the fold. I think we could have done pretty good last season, but you know, that's last season when we're focusing on this season.
Ethan, will you go post a yellow heart on Facebook?
What?
Go on
Go-
Facebook and just look for the yellow heart. You'll know what I mean. Anyway,
The fuck are you talking about?
Have you guys covered the conferences yet? I
We
heard
don't-
you guys kind of talking about it when I got in here.
we
but-
don't do power rankings no more because Jason isn't part of media, but I mean, I guess we could kind of do like a rough mock-up of them.
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about them. That race in the East is something, man. I was looking at that earlier today.
Yeah, that one seed's gonna be nuts.
Man, that one seed's gonna smack whoever gets the 8th seed. But it's a great run nonetheless. It's a good last couple weeks of before the playoffs. Washington's won 7 in a row. The Maple Leafs 3 in a row, and they've just been hot and cold a lot this year.
You guys think
We got
Hank
the Maple
pulls it
Leafs
off?
tonight. We got the Maple Leafs first game. I'm about to play that game.
I think the
Then-
Leafs are quietly a good team as well.
Oh yeah, those guys have been playing together for years, man. All of them. They all know
I like
each
their
other.
defense a lot. Like Nuber, Madden,
Yeah, exactly.
both my boys.
I think Boston misses though. That's my prediction. I think Boston's going to be the odd team out, just because I feel like they got a lot going on in their locker room that's not disclosed.
Oh, what kind of cancer?
It's not even essentially cancer. It's just the goalie. It was rumored that the goalie requested a trade after losing to Ottawa the other night. I mean, I don't blame the guy, but
I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, I told him that there was an easy lineup out, and that's why he signed up for the game. And in the game was Chippy, Diamond, Zach, Door.
You're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, you should have made him play.
He did play.
Like, your
That game
mom's a
sucks.
hoe, bro.
Lots of respect though for some of the East teams that maybe just don't get enough credit. Carolina, Dennis Hayes, a lot of unknown players on that team, but they're in a good spot to make the playoffs. Obviously, these next couple of weeks are gonna show that. New Jersey, Tommy Swan, we can't beat that team this year for some reason. They put up 11 on us on Tuesday or Monday.
New
one of
Jersey
the
needs to
days I was
play
in town.
Gucci D more. That's probably their best player, and I was reading that he wasn't playing very much, James.
And then we go to the Western Conference, and the top 5 teams really, it's a big gap between 5 and 6. 6, 7, and 8 is kind of meh. Vegas, big win over San Jose.
Yeah,
TK,
Vegas
got any
is
comments on
actually
that?
Vegas. If you tuned in earlier to the podcast, you heard me say it where we just didn't play a good team game, and Jason let in some questionable goals, and then at the end of the game, Jason got slide happy.
Man, did he cover short side?
That question was already asked.
Everybody's fucking saying that too.
I was just the dude. I just popped in here late, man.
I have no comment on the situation.
I understand. Michael Jordan in Dallas. We got them game 1. We'll see how that goes. If we lose, I might kill myself. So this might be the last.
There's another
time any of
game
y'all
we
hear
played
my voice.
Monday too. We almost lost to another fucking sneaky team Monday. Oh, we almost lost to who the hell was that? Montreal.
Yeah,
we were
Montreal
down.
and
We were down like 5-2 at the beginning of the third period. Jason was letting in some more questionable goals, and we just battled back, fought adversity, and we came back and won the game.
Man, I love John
Hartman,
Balance.
that guy
I
had
cannot
one.
say enough good things about John Balance with him and his island of misfit toys in Montreal. But he's got a lot of firsts going into next year. It should be
It's
really
5.
interesting. Yeah, it should be really interesting to see what Montreal can do. John's one of those guys that likes to scout. He scouts a lot. I criticize him all the time. All the time that he scouts, man. He spends more time scouting than I do watching games, and that's pretty sad.
You watch
but-
games? You watch virtual hockey games?
Yes, man. I've not missed a single Blackhawks game in the last, 3 or 4 weeks watching on Twitch. That's the coaching role that everybody laughs about.
I gotta
I don't
get
think
out of
I've
here
ever
in
watched
10 minutes.
half a
My
game.
retard's ready.
Yeah,
I was
no,
gonna say
I
I've played I've watched Twitch, but LG, but I've never watched a virtual sim.
no,
Doing those online.
Oof.
no, the FBHL
Why are you
Blackhawks,
ready,
man, and just all of them, just how they played the last couple weeks, and they played really, really well. A lot of key guys are really stepping up, and a lot of guys that maybe just don't get looked at a lot. We had a good game with LA a couple weeks ago, but Nuxie wasn't out there. I was really hoping to see Nuxie out there. I feel like that would have shifted the whole game. Nuxie got a big game with Vancouver next week.
Hey Arlie, I'm just looking at standings. You guys lost first in the Central.
Yeah, we did. Last couple days have been really rough. Our Monday was bad. We dropped games to Columbus, who we just cannot buy a win against this year. Columbus, a lot of respect for Sink and Tim and all the boys over there. Man, they just got such a good team.
Hey,
And
Ethan.
then, like I said, we
Got to
lost
go for
to
it in
New
threes.
Jersey.
Ethan, I'm looking at standings. You guys are 4th currently with 97. In front of you, you got obviously Chicago 101, and then Colorado's 2 for leading the division at 103. So if playoffs started today, you guys would play Vancouver at the 5. Would you want that sweaty series right away?
Yeah, I think so. It puts us in a good spot, you know, with how playoffs go, you know, we wouldn't have to play San Jose in the second round too, if we made the second round. Vancouver's also a really quiet and sneaky team. They make a lot of noise when they play a game. Props to them, really. They're a great team to play against. I think we have an even series against them so far this season. We're 2-2 with them. They're a great team, full of great players. I think, in all honesty, though, you know, we all play different. When the playoffs come, it's hard to say who would come out on top. But obviously, I have to put faith in my boys, and I think we can take that serious. But, you know, it could go either way. Vancouver's a great team. So it would be a good start to the playoffs, you know. Any team that's gonna win the cup in the playoffs has harder outs. And you know, if you win the cup, you deserve it the most, right?
I think Tampa's gonna have an easy first round of the Rain.
So I was looking at this actually. I was looking at your goalie situation earlier in the season, and obviously you got Keegan. He's here in the party. I haven't heard him say anything, but you have Keegan.
Keegan, go!
Let's go, baby!
I haven't seen really a backup come forth like earlier this year, but now you guys got a couple good 2-3 options. You got Corey, and then you got that Gamer kid. I don't know much about Gamer. I've seen his name around, but any insight on any of your goalies that could be a backup?
Yeah, we had the 2 goalies to start the season, Corey and Keegan. We had Mac Ming play a little bit of goalie too.
Man, my fucking goalie for VG isn't even here right now. What the
He's
fuck?
a natural defenseman, and we put him on defense, and he's one of the best defensemen, really underrated. Yeah, we had the 2 goalies, Corey and Keegan, running back to back, but schedules got a little tight with work and, you know, life, and so we thought we'd pick up a third goalie, something, you know, we could get for cheap, and we found Gamer, Dylan Griffin on Arizona, and we thought, you know, all right, let's make a good trade with them. We traded Halsey or Kev LaBelle for Dylan Griffin in Arizona's first round pick this season.
Who the hell is Dylan Griffin?
He's our third goalie. He had, you know, for being on Arizona, which was such a terrible team, he still had pretty decent numbers as a goalie. You know, I felt bad. You know, he's a decent goalie, not well known. Figured we'll pick him up and he'll play the games that our goalies can't play. He's been pretty solid for us. Definitely kept us in a lot of games, and really great guy in the locker room too. Just really grateful to be here. He tells me that almost every time we're in a party.
Yeah, I actually I talked to Arizona regarding him when I was looking for another goalie, so I didn't have to play net because, you know, my heart is in the press box.
I'm
just
done.
watching.
Not playing VG with this shit.
But yeah, I was glad to see he got a team that he could really get a shot at and just get time, you know, whenever you can give him to him, and hopefully he does good with any opportunity he gets. But it's going to be really interesting to see how, you know, shift in focus really from now to the playoffs and seeing how these series really work out, because there's a lot of deep teams in this league, and I just feel like this year the playoffs are pretty wide open because even like Tampa Bay, who's the 5th seed in the East, I mean, they got they got depth, and they're gonna be able to compete. And will they knock out JC in the first round again? Probably. We'll wait to see.
The West is tricky though because Vegas is low key good. Like they started off really slow, but their roster's really fucking good.
Yeah, their roster is really, really solid. And
Who do they have on the roster?
Goalie Gods,
they got
Sens
Goalie
Hockey,
Gods, they got Sens Hockey,
Howrah.
they got Genlocks.
Yeah, but are they playing?
Yeah, they're playing. They
Halsey.
got Howrah. They got Maniac Seb. I think Maniac Seb's a scrub hunter, but that's just me.
I haven't heard a single defenseman, so maybe they're just forward heavy.
Let's see what they got here for defense. Yeah, they're really, really forward heavy. They got James Frayne, Cold Driven, big fan. They got Halsey.
Halsey
Kevin
or like
LaBelle. Yeah, Kevin LaBelle.
okay.
Drew Khalifa. That's another really, really sneaky defenseman. He's averaging 1.14 points per game. He's plus 17, and he played most of the season on Michael Jordan's Anaheim. So that's another player that could really, really step up for them that we just really just don't know about. And a lot of teams have those players that we just don't know about.
That is true.
Yeah, it seems like every time we play, like, we almost lost to Florida this.
And that's the tricky thing about this league, man, is people have friends and they bring their friends in that you might not know about, and they just come in here and they just play good or they don't. And it's just, it really, just like a Michael Jordan, for instance, you know, he likes his group of friends, he likes his clique, and that's fine, but if we're talking playoffs, man, and just sometimes you just gotta get past your friends if you really want to play and you really want to compete.
What?
Sorry. I'm sorry, I'm just speaking hard then on my own.
You just cut out really, really bad.
Oh, did I? I'm sorry. I gotta leave soon to set up my game. They really don't know how to do it if I don't do it.
You guys
I don't have people in
else?
the actual game that can do it, so.
Arlie, if Rogo and Boogs and Hyper and Lemmy and Tom K don't play in playoffs, you guys are kind of SOL.
Well, yeah, that's all three of our lines. What else did you expect? I think you just named about half of our roster.
I just
think
named
any
the
team
5
at that
best
point-
players on your roster, and then good old Hunter Warren. That man has a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
What do you got to say about
Demons.
my boy Hunter Warren?
Man likes to stir the pot a lot.
Oh, me too. Like,
Yeah,
what's
man,
wrong with
who
that?
doesn't? But no, Hunter's been really, really good this year. 21 games. I think only one of his games was on forward. All the rest have been on defense. He's plus 38. He had an 8-assist game versus Seattle the other day, but I mean,
That's
I
not
guess
something
I
to
wouldn't
brag about.
yeah,
Seattle
exactly.
sucks.
I wouldn't flex it. But one thing that you guys really got to understand is Hyper and Boost, they play on one line together, and Rogo and Blade Man play on another one, and then Lemmy has his own line that he centers. And so when I say that we got depth, we got 3 lines with really, really good players on it. So, and then just our defensive pairings, you know, it's our first line with Furry Nips is great. He'll have Tom K on his left, and then we have just people like Hunter Warren who've won games, and then Jacob Gillen, who's Jake Hockey. He's one of my best friends. He's been my best friend since 5th grade. He's got a lot of big wins versus teams that have been really good this year. Like he's got wins versus LA, and he's played in a lot of big games.
Man,
2
it's
wins
probably a
versus
good thing
Detroit.
Hunter Warren ain't playing forward. The one game he did play, you guys got mopped.
Yeah, we got mopped. We got absolutely mopped that game. Connor Fox was in net for that one, actually. He was in ECU. So, if that gives you a little bit more insight.
Yeah.
Listen, I gotta go. I gotta go set up my team.
All right, buddy.
And Tassie, don't revive me. Tassie, let me die, please.
Yeah,
I gotta
we got a big game against San Jose at 9 o'clock, so
Yep.
I gotta go help the boys.
So, are we going to cut this one short then?
Yeah, it's been 53 minutes.
Al, thanks for having me.
Hope to have you
I
again.
would like to be back. Yeah, of course. Next week we'll get a little bit more insight about what the playoff.
Arlie, full-time media member? Jesus.
Dude, I've been saying it since the start that Arlie needs to be in.
Dude, nobody knows this league more than me, man. I watch my stats online like every single minute of every single.
Nobody knows how to get banned in this league more than Soulplane and me. Rip.
I think I'm included in that list. Maybe.
I have been banned and unbanned like 8 times. Blow me, Hartman.
I will present it, baby.
And get to work.
Yeah,
Don't
man.
Griff-
No, Connor Fox is just fucking retarded.
Let me die.
Like, the kid, like, asked to be on media last night to be on this podcast, and then, oh, he quits today. Like, no surprise. I think Hank and Steve need to not let him be in FB anymore.
Yeah, man, he's gonna come in here and flex his 17-game losing streak.
Fucking rights, doggy.